Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hasiela here, and I'm so honored and blessed to share this video with you all. This is a training to prepare the volunteers who will be working over at Faith Kids with the little ones. Before we get into it, just want to share how Michael and I are so excited to be working along with our director, Vaughn and Kiva, to help prepare teachers and create a new structure along with this new curriculum. Um, and we really just want to encourage you. Thank you for volunteering and just know how important your role is to the ministry, to the church, that we are sowing seeds and that you play a critical role in the church. And so we're so thrilled that you have decided to come on board. And please take this time to prepare. As you know, uh, when we work for the Lord, we do it for Him, right? And so everything we do, we want to do it with excellence. We want to really pour into our kids and give them the best of what we have. And so we encourage you to take out your notebook, take out a pen. If you have any questions, jot them down. And this will be a short video, just an overview of really what we were able to delve into in the training a couple of weeks ago. But please pay close attention, and we'll go ahead and get started. Alrighty. Okay, so here are some of the things that we are going to be covering in this presentation. Number one will be volunteer scheduling and communication. Then we'll go into the Sunday school logistics, what your day will look like, the roles and structures of the director and the workers and volunteers for Faith Kids. And then we'll go into the lesson delivery and our behavioral strategy that we would like to see implemented within the classrooms. Okay, so first and foremost, let's get into the roles and structure. We want you to know that uh, our objective is that you, as a teacher, or as our director Vaughn likes to share, as an influencer, that your main role is to influence and to teach the little ones. Okay. And so we don't want you to be worried about materials. We don't want you to be worried about any extreme behavior issues. Uh, our goal is that you are meditating throughout the week on the scripture, on the lesson, getting fully prepared to serve on your designated Sunday. And just to give you an idea of who is in the background working to support you. Number one is our youth director, Vaughn, and Kiva works closely with the Faith Kids. A lot of you guys did your intake and all your background information and all of that with them. And then the next level, when we go into Faith Kids, are the lesson builders. So currently, I am helping to build the lessons that we'll see in a bit. And then on Sundays, Miss Janet, and we have another individual as well, who will be helping prepare supplies. On Sundays and even maybe on Wednesdays, the materials for your class will be prepared a week before. So you don't have to worry about that. The teen team will also assist us with that. And then we do have a worship team. So our worship team will be leading worship in the beginning of the Sunday school. We are putting together our behavior support team. And so this group is comprised of people who have experience and education on how to deal with children with special needs, any extreme behaviors. They'll be roaming the hallways. They'll be there to assist if a student needs to come out, just have a one-on-one, take a walk. This will be our behavior support team. And we are working, just so that you know, we are working on a sensory room. And so for some of the students who may be on the spectrum, uh, they may need to step out and go into the sensory room for support, particularly even during worship. Maybe they may be too overstimulated, and our support team will be there to assist with those children. And then we have our dedicated check in and check out group. Alrighty. So then all of these people are working behind the scenes, right? Checking in and checking out, making sure that they're ready for worship, making sure that your materials are done, your lesson is done, it's provided for you. If you're having any issues, that they're there for behavior. And then you have yourselves. You guys are the front lines. And again, our mission is to support you so that you feel comfortable in pouring into the children. Um, as you see below that, we do have substitutes. And so it is highly, highly, highly important. If you are not going to make it, if you cannot honor your commitment, please, 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 for whatever reason, let us know as soon as possible. We'd love for you to let us know, Miss Kiva know, or maybe even in hubs, you can send me a message. If by 8 o'clock, if possible, so that we can let the substitutes know that they're going to be in the classrooms. One thing I'd like to highlight is that you will be co-teaching, okay? So you will be working alongside another teacher. So it's important, we don't want to leave a person hanging, right? There are going to be a lot of students. This can also impact how many students we allow in the room. If we have to close a classroom down or not, really depends on the adult to student ratio. And so it's super important. Please, 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 if you are not able to make it, if you know in advance, to let us know way in advance. And if something happens that day, that you let us know immediately. This is an extreme, extreme important responsibility as one of the influencers, and we have the substitutes in place. And so you don't have to worry about it. We will take care of it. Okay, so by now, most of you have received um, the invitation from Hubs. This is going to be our communication uh, platform. Um, for some of you who may have not seen the email, or maybe you think it went to junk, it's a funny subject. It says stuff you can use. Kiva Wilson invited you to join their hub. So you're going to go ahead and click on the link. After you click on the link in your email, click join now. And once you click the link in your email, it's going to automatically um, put you inside the Faith Kids group. That's where you'll see our posted lessons. That's where you can message your co-teacher if you have any questions. And I would definitely encourage you to turn on notifications. It's on the top right in the settings in the app. And you will there after you put the notification right there, you'll be able to see your lesson. You'll be able to see when you're scheduled, and we'll actually be posting this training video if you need any refresher to look at it over there as well. Okay, so we're gonna start getting into Sunday morning. So please, please, please open your ears, okay? Because now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of this new format on Sunday mornings. Okay, so number one, please report to the library by 9 a.m. All right. After you report there, you can go straight to your classroom. So that way we'll be aware, hey, I'm here, I'm present. The first thing you're going to want to do is look at the board, and you may want to write your name, put the date, and also put the big idea and memory verse. Okay, so in secular schools and public schools, really in all schools, you put your objective, right? Your learning objective. So for us, we're doing our big idea and our memory verse. What is it that we're going to continue to circle back and talk about today? So that's going to be your what you need to do at 9 a.m. In addition to that, your videos should be queued up. If there are any YouTube videos, if there is a video for the curriculum, making sure that your technology is working, as well as your materials. You're looking at the materials, looking at your lesson. Okay, I see that my students had to do a craft. Do I have scissors for it? Do I have glue? Do I have crayons? Do I have markers? And as well as snacks. Where are my snacks? Okay, because that will also be in inside of the lesson. Okay, after a class check, we're going to report at 9:30 for a prayer and a team huddle, and that is where we're going to get our spirits up. That's where we're going to pray and just really have a time of unity before we go back and start facing the children and start instruction. So that's going to be from at 9:30. You'll be in the library where we'll meet with all of the youth influencers and director. Okay. At 9:45 is when you will prepare to meet kids, okay? And so just a little discrepancy here. We're actually going to be just like before. The kids are going to be walking over to their classroom by 9:45. Check-in will open at 9:45 and the kids will start strolling into their designated classrooms, okay? Then at 10 o'clock, we're going to start to call the classrooms one by one to walk over to the multi-purpose room for praise and worship. All right. Now we are going to have some teachers stay behind to get the late arrivals and walk them over to the multi-purpose room. But our intention is that when you begin worship, okay, it's going to be a time where you can model for the children how to praise, how to sing, make sure that they're not getting too crazy because we know that our little ones love to dance and wiggle, but sometimes they're not really aware of their surroundings. So, this is really a time that to enjoy with the children. And also, if I have a child who is not in my class, but I see the other teacher needs support, maybe they have one student who's really struggling and I'm near them. It's a time for all of us to help each other out, okay? It's just kind of like an assembly. All of our roles as teachers is to make sure all of the students are sitting where they need to be, that they're with their teachers, and that they're behaving appropriately. All right, so that is going to begin at 10 a.m. in the multipurpose room. Okay, so now we're going to get further into um, the rest of the lesson and the rest of the day on Sunday. Okay, so here is the schedule. This is going to be the schedule for ages 3 to 7. In the next slide, you'll see ages 1 to 2, which is more of a scaled down version of this, but pretty much the same. Okay, so the first thing, as you know, from 10 to 10:45 is praise, dance, and worship. And then from 10:45 to 11, we transition and start calling one by one the roles into their respective classrooms. Okay, first thing you want to do when you walk into your classroom is review the rules. You'll have a set of rules posted right by your TV screen, okay? And so it's very important. You may want to call and repeat. Everybody say after me, right? Um, be kind, be kind, okay? You want to really make sure that they understand that there is order, okay? And then you transition into your get settled activity, okay? Hey guys, we're going to have a game now. Let's all get together now that we did our classroom rules. So, our suggestion would probably be sit everybody down, go over the rules, and then get them excited about this new game that you're about to play. And now pause. If you see that you're in age 3 classroom, this is where you take a bathroom break. After your little game, you're getting settled game activity. That's when, okay, guys, now we're gonna go to the restroom. All right. And I do want to stop here and say if you have a student who has to go to the bathroom, prior to your designated time. This is why we have co-teachers in the room and we have shadowers in the room, okay? Please stick with the time that you're supposed to go into the bathroom so that we can manage the amount of children that are in the hallways. Um, and if you have a child who needs to go to the bathroom, that you have a shadower or you have someone who's walking around and supervising in the hallway, take them. Okay? But for now, we're going to stick with this schedule for classroom bathroom break. So the age three students go to the bathroom after 11 o'clock, after their getting settled activity. Okay. From 11 o'clock to 11:10, we talk about the big idea. So after we do our game, we go back to the whiteboard and we talk about, okay, what is going to be the main thing we're going to talk about today? Today, we're going to talk about this big idea. We're going to talk about this memory verse. And then you can click the video, which pretty much gives you the lesson. Everyone can watch the lesson together. After we watch the lesson, we transition to circle time. So after we watch the video, we talk about it, right? We talk about what we saw, the Bible story that we saw, what it means. And then once again, the lesson, kind of the takeaway. And then we repeat our memory verse and prayer. Please prayer is a really good time to share. Does anyone want to accept Jesus into their heart? Always try to remember to include the call for salvation in your closing prayer. After circle time, age four is actually going to take their bathroom break and the rest of the students are going to go into another playtime activity. I like to call this the reinforcement activity. This is the activity to reinforce the lesson. So if you guys get an understanding of what the lesson is looking like, you get a little warm up game to introduce the topic. Then you have the lesson and talk about the lesson. And then you have a reinforcer activity. Okay. So the structure really is warm up, right? Lesson, and then reinforce. Okay. After the playtime activity, age five goes to the bathroom, and the rest of the students will have their snack time, which will already be in your classroom. After snack time, um, age six will go to the bathroom. And by then, after snack time, around 11:35, right? Everyone should have gone to the bathroom. Okay. After that, all of the students are in their room. So we're aiming that by 11:35, 11:40, there's going to be no more long lines. Okay. We really have to try to get disciplined about going at the time that you're designated to. Okay. So 11:35 to 11:45 is the coloring page craft. Or for the older students, they have an actual paper craft. Okay. So again, this is another reinforcement activity, right? A lot of times they're coloring the memory verse, or they're coloring or making a paper craft related to their lesson that they can take home. And once again, we want to continue to repeat that memory verse, repeat that big idea. Following the craft, we'll do the discipleship challenge. Okay, now just to pause here. What is the discipleship challenge? Okay, so in the Grow curriculum, they provide a quarterly discipleship challenge. Okay, so for this quarter, the activity that they're challenging our students with is to uh, memorize a Bible verse and put it to music. And they can do whatever they want. They can sing it, right? They can take a melody and sing the Bible verse. They can take a song and dance. They can make a dance to it. They can beatbox to it. And I would really encourage them to be creative, even if they want to draw a picture. And we will be working to have a showcase of at the end of the quarter after their discipleship challenge. So please encourage parents when they pick them up. Hey, don't forget about the discipleship challenge. Here are some Bible verses that you can use to do with them at home, maybe Sunday night or Saturday night. Um, So that's the discipleship challenge, all right? And we encourage you that when you are coloring with the students or doing their paper craft, this is a perfect opportunity to say, "Hey guys, how many of you guys have been working on your discipleship challenge? I Any idea of what Bible verse you can do or any songs you could do it to?" And that way, kids can see that the other kids are into it. They can bounce ideas, so we really want to encourage you that every time during the page craft, during the coloring craft, you have an intentional conversation about the discipleship challenge. Alrighty? Okay. After the discipleship challenge, and when we're done with the page craft, this is where we help clean up. Okay. So we're actually going to put a checklist in every room to make sure that all of the steps have been taken to clean up the rooms. And please have your students help you, okay? Super important that they realize that it's their shared space, and so that they also take responsibility to keep it clean and orderly. And then lastly is the teacher's choice. So from 12 o'clock to 12:30, this is where the service for the grown-ups is usually winding down. And so we encourage the teachers to take some time. It's your choice. You and your co-teacher can decide. Do you guys want to play a game? Do you guys want to read a book? Do you guys want to watch a movie? Okay. This is a really good opportunity if you want to dim the lights, if you want to just finish sanitizing while everyone is quietly watching their video. And that way the parents can come and get them, and they have hopefully gotten their wiggles out and are quiet and ready to be collected by their parents. Okay. Also, please remember when they are being collected by their parents that you match the sticker to the parent. Okay, you want to take that guardian receipt and you want to identify the number. This is extremely important for safety. And so please, because we have hundreds of students and hundreds of parents walking through the hallway, we don't want to make that mistake ever. So please make sure that you are very strict about looking at the code, and eventually you'll know the parents, you'll know the children, but especially if you're a new volunteer, please make it a habit. Okay, and then over here we have the babies and the daycare ages 1 to 2. And this is just a scaled down version, right? They're coming to praise and worship, and then when they come back, they can have some playtime, okay? So once again, it's not necessarily like the warm-up activity that the other students had. They're just playing because they want to play with their toys, okay? And then that's when we can gather them. We can say, hey, we have a story time for you. We can play the video, and then they can color, okay? So we really want to help them color and continue to develop that fine motor skill, holding the crayon and the color pencils. And they will have their coloring page, and then they can have snack time. Okay. After snack time, they can also help clean up, do your diaper check, and then once again, they could either do free play or watch a movie, or maybe a little bit of both. All right. So now this is another important strategy that we want to cover. Now, the faith kids want to follow the behavior, the 3-step plan. What do we call the 3-step plan when it comes to behavior? And I just want to share for those of you who are new volunteers that the kids at the Faith Center are generally very well behaved, God fearing children. What we might encounter most of all, and what we have continued to see, are students who have special challenges or special needs. And so this is where we want to, how we want to approach them, particularly if you've never worked with children before. Take it in 3 different levels. Okay. So the first step is general redirection. What is general? What does that look like? That behavior look like, that unwanted behavior that you see? They're occasionally off task. They're occasionally disruptive, mildly inappropriate, right? Maybe they're having trouble sitting down, okay? And this is where we want to address the class. Okay, everyone. All right, settle down. Let's take a deep breath. Let's count to five. Everyone, please pay attention. Please listen. Can you clap once, clap twice? So this is general redirection. We're not singling any of them out. We're just trying to get their attention. Okay, you can raise your hand, right? Everyone, raise your hand, right? These are all strategies to help get the attention of the class, right? And it's super important that we be assertive because there's going to be a lot of them and two of you and no shadowers. So it's super important to project your voice and make sure you're getting their attention. Okay. All right. Then number two is the next level. This is when students are persistently disruptive. You definitely see a student or two, and they're the ones that are frequently off task, kind of disrupting everyone else. Sometimes it could be mildly inappropriate or mildly disrespectful, right? And this is where you may want to pull them out and talk to them on the side of the room. This is where you really want to utilize your other co-teacher or even step outside in the hallway and so this is another opportunity where maybe you want to ask for support. And then level three is where they're extremely disruptive, highly inappropriate or disrespectful, always off task or distracting. This is the extreme behavior that we really don't feel equipped with dealing with. It's overwhelming. You try to speak with them, you're trying, and they're kind of like taking all of the attention off of the class and the lesson and onto them. This is where you want to notify behavior support. Maybe they need to take a walk, maybe they need to go to the sensory room if something really inappropriate has happened, we want to talk to the director. And once again, this is where behavior support is going to be critical in helping you. And so it's super important that you don't feel like you're alone, okay? Out there, there are people circulating the hallways, there are people there to support you and to make sure that in case anything does happen or go down, that they are there to support you. All right. Also, this is a box, a toolbox of go-tos that we really want you to implement, okay? As well as the snacks and lesson materials that you're going to find in your class. You're also going to find fidgets, okay? So fidgets are super important. We know that it can be challenging to sit in front of a lecture for an hour and a half, right? Without moving around or wiggling or just doing something to keep our attention. And so if we see a student that's really struggling to pay attention, you can offer them a fidget. There could be a stress ball, it can be something that they can twist, something that they can hold, something that they can quietly pop, right? Um, and so another more accommodations that we're going to put into the rooms include bouncy band for chairs. You can also say, okay, everybody, I think we need to step up and just do a wiggle. Let's get our wiggles out. Um, also, we'll be getting noise canceling headphones and then peer support. Lastly, we do want to encourage you, we'll be providing reward bins. And so these are simple little things, stickers, little squishies or stamp, right? And so we want to uh reward good behavior and motivate them. Hey, do you want a sticker? Okay, if you can sit down for 5 more minutes, okay? If you can just hold on for 5 more minutes or be patient, show me that you can be patient, then you'll get a big sticker and a stamp. How about that? So kind of encouraging them with a reward. Okay. All right. And so this is pretty much the presentation. I am going to show you guys what the lesson actually looks like. And then I'll let you guys go over it on your own. Okay. So when you go on Hubs, you will find this lesson if you are scheduled on a particular Sunday. This will be the PDF that you'll see attached to the message that you've been assigned. Okay, this is the lesson plan. The lesson plan, as well as any printed materials, will be set out for you on Sunday. But this is definitely for you to click on and to get familiar. Please, 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 please get familiar with the activities. Okay, and so as you see here, you have the big idea in the Bible verse. This is what, when you open it, what you want to be praying over. Jesus is always fair. So I just want to challenge you that throughout the week, you think about how has he been shown himself to be fair? When have I struggled in thinking that maybe Jesus is unfair? How has he proven to me that he is fair? Think about it in your own life, okay? Um, because we know as we pour into others, God pours into us as well. And then this is the Bible verse. Definitely you want to look it over, read it over, meditate on it throughout the week. Okay, so let's review. Okay, we get in at 9 o'clock. We prepare our classroom by writing the big idea and the memory verse. And then at 9:30, make sure we have our materials and snacks, fidgets and all that. Then at 9:30, we gather in the library for a huddle. 9:45, we head back to our rooms to start signing the children in, allowing the children in rather. After we allow the children in, at 10 o'clock, we start being called from our classrooms to the multi-purpose room for worship from 10 o'clock to 10:45. Okay. When we come back to our rooms, this is where we're going to look at our handy dandy lesson, okay? Please don't go back to your room and just, in the chaos of it, just forget what we're doing. Go to your lesson. What do I have to do right now? Boom. I have to review my classroom rules, okay? So you review the classroom rules. Then what do I have to do next? Oh, that's right. I have to do my warm-up activity. It's the warm-up to introduce students to the idea, okay? So you can, hey guys, do you want to guess what game we're going to be doing today? All right. And so then that is when you do your activity. This Sunday, we'll be doing a pogo ball hop. So it's basically a race where one child holds a ball in their hand and another one has to hold it between their knees. And it's to show how it's an unfair race. Okay. There goes the introduction of the idea of fairness. All right, after the getting settled activity, oh, age 3 has to go to the bathroom. So make sure that you line everyone up and take them to the bathroom. In the meantime, the other classes are going straight into story time. Okay, students, what is the main idea today? The big idea is that Jesus is always fair. Okay, and the lesson provides you with some tips on how maybe you want to incorporate your hands or incorporate music. It's not mandatory, but if it helps. So this one says, Jesus is always fair. That can help, particularly with the younger children. Okay. After this, we go over our memory verse. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It will be the same memory verse all month. Hebrews 13:8. And then, okay, guys, it's time to watch our story. Let's get ready for Callie's World, okay? It's where everyone wants to be quiet and you want to be paying close attention, okay? Again, if you have a student who can't settle down, who's super fidgety, get a fidget to help them to quietly watch the video. All right. After Callie's World, we talk about it, right? Let's talk about what we saw. Let's talk about the Bible story in this Sunday's lesson. It's about the workers in the vineyard. So teachers will be provided with a picture of grapes, and we'll talk about grapes and what the workers in the vineyard were going through and what was the lesson that Jesus was trying to send in this parable. And again, here's where you can freestyle. Maybe you want to talk about what is a parable? Does anybody know what a parable is? You will be surprised of the little theologians that are in these classrooms. So please challenge them and even challenge them. Oh, it's in Matthew. Anybody know where Matthew is or what is that? That's called a chapter. Is it the Old Testament or New Testament? Challenge their knowledge of the Bible. Okay. And then we have our memory verse, okay? And then that's when, once again, we'll repeat it. and then we have offering time, okay? I want to encourage you as well. If you have a paper offering, and even if you give it through cash, um, even if you give it through Zelle rather, or through Cash App, or whatever method you give it, if you have 25 cents, you'll have an envelope in the materials box, and it's important that they see, hey, this isn't just you offering. I'm going to be an example, and I'm going to give in my envelope, and you can pass around the envelope as well. And I promise you, once you start being faithful in passing that envelope, children are going to be reminding their parents for money for the offering, because I remember I used to do that. So, yeah, and definitely encourage them. Pray over the offering. And once again, this is the opportunity to do the of salvation. Okay, we've watched the video, talked about the video, talked about the lesson, did our offering, and said our prayer. Now, age 4 is going to go on a bathroom break while the rest of the classes are going to do our reinforcer activity, okay? And this is a grape balloon toss. So basically like a volleyball, they're going to be tossing up purple balloon and a green balloon. They're going to be tossing it to one another. So you'll want to have the students in rows, and you'll be asking them questions like, what did the landowner promise everyone he hired? One coin, okay? And so, again, this is where it's super important that during the week you look at it and really understand, because sometimes you're like, well, what is this game asking me to do? Please take a look at it. Okay, age 5, bathroom break, snack time. And then after age 5 comes back, age 6 is going to go to the bathroom after their snack time. And then we're going to move on to our paper craft, okay? Now, once again, for the ages 3 to 5, they'll have a coloring page, and for ages 6 to 7, they will have an actual paper craft. So please, 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 especially if you're ages 6 to 7, make sure that you understand what it is that they want you to create there. And a lot of times, guys, you see these links, they're clickable. So you can click on the link and get an idea, a visual of what is the end product that they want you to create. Repeat the memory verse, and once again, talk to them about the discipleship challenge, okay? About this musical memory verse. What is everyone doing? Give them ideas for memory verses that they can memorize. And then, once again, when you're done the conversation, hey, does anybody remember what is our memory verse for today? Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Really good suggestion is to use that one, right? Anybody have a song that they think can go to Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever, or a dance that they can do? Um, Definitely encourage them to get up and show you. And then we made it, guys. That is when, okay, guys, awesome job. Let's start helping clean up. You can actually even put in, have designated helpers, right? If somebody is really good with collecting crayons, or if somebody is really good with putting the collecting all the papers, give them roles. They love it. And then teacher's choice. Okay, this is where it's around 12 o'clock. You're probably getting a little bit tired. The kids are probably getting a little bit antsy and hungry and want to see, even though they ate snacks, they're probably still hungry. Here's also another time where you can say, hey, I want to give some rewards to some students, to the students, because you guys did an awesome job today, right? I'm going to give you guys a sticker, and you did a really good job because it was really hard for you. So I'm going to give you 2 stickers. Okay. So this is your opportunity to just kind of like a cool down, a quiet time, if you want to call it a quiet time, or maybe you want to do a board game, or maybe you guys want to play the game you played earlier because you had so much fun to read a book. It is up to you and the co-teacher. And also look at your class, right? Depending on how excited your class is, how active they are, is how you may want to proceed when it comes to your teacher's choice. So that is all. I know this was a lot, but please continue to review it. Please watch it if you have any questions. And once again, thank you guys so much. You are such a great blessing and an awesome team to work with. And we will see you on Sunday. Please remember, if you have any issues with attending, to let us know as soon as possible. And if you have any questions, please reach out to your co-teacher first and foremost, since they may be able to answer your question. And then if you have any other questions, you can reach out to Miss Kiva or myself on Hubs. All right. God bless you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.